Hello, everybody, and welcome to a live reaction for the Matrix Resurrections trailer from MinnMax. I'm Ben Hansen. MinnMax is a patron about games, friends, getting better. I'm here with the #1 Matrix fan in the world who says he fully understands everything about the world of the Matrix, Kyle Hilliard.
Guys, what is the Matrix?
Great question. We're going to find out. Kyle, I am very excited about Matrix Resurrections. I assume you're in the same camp of it's making you remember how important the Matrix was to you at a certain point in your life?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I really like I like the original trilogy, the Animatrix, the first Matrix, hugely impactful. You know, just one of these crazy memorable theater experiences. The first R-rated movie I ever saw in a theater.
Wow.
And you know, but then, you know, like most people, I kind of like forgot about the Matrix, and then like you kind of remember it, and you rewatch the first one, you're like, but like, I didn't realize how excited I was for this until the teasers started popping up 2 days ago, and then just seeing little snippets of it. And I was like, oh, I'm really excited for a new Matrix.
Oh, good.
That was my feeling.
I have not even looked at the teaser. I saw a couple stills on Twitter, and that's all I know about this. But we should dive in for a live reaction here to official trailer number 1. You have not watched this ahead of time, have you, Kyle?
I have not. No.
Okay, great. Here we go. Let's sit back and enjoy. Everybody.
Oh, wait. I haven't done a lot of these with you, Hansen.
Yeah.
Do we talk over this, or do we just kind of have our faces do the talking?
I think utterances are welcome.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
But we'll save the detailed stuff for later.
That's right.
You seem particularly triggered right now. Can you tell me what happened?
Oh, that's right. He's
I had dreams that weren't just dreams.
Oh, Kyle, there's a lot.
Am I crazy?
We don't use that word in here.
So Neil Patrick Harris, he's got to be the Morpheus figure, right? He can't just be an average psychologist or whatever.
Okay. This one's gonna be funny.
Have we met?
Interesting.
And one pill makes you small, and the ones that mother gives you don't do.
This is weird, Kyle.
Yeah. Okay.
Time to fly.
Huh.
Just one sibling.
If you want the truth, Neo, you're going to have to follow me.
The only thing that matters to you is still here. I know it's why you're still fighting and why you will never give up. You don't know me, no?
Good. Good.
You just like Christmas? That's exciting.
Yeah, I like Christmas and Watchmen. Okay. Okay. Oh, Kyle, there's so much. There's so much. Good.
After all these years, to be going back to where it all started. Back to the Matrix.
Did we mention this is the Matrix?
Well, I mean, to be fair, I think if you watch, no, yeah, you would. There's no way you would watch that and not know it was the Matrix from the beginning. If you just happen to see the trailer in front of a movie or something.
Oh, I bet there's millions of people that are in that camp. I bet that just go to a theater and have not seen this online or anything, and they'd be like, "What is this? Could this possibly?" But I guess here's a subtle hint here.
Yeah,
I mean, this is about as Matrix of a shot as you can get. Okay, first reaction. I know it's doing a lot of setting up and everything, but first reaction is it's a lot less stylized than I was expecting. This looks like a standard movie, whereas you see any shot, I feel like, in the original Matrix, and it is hitting you hard with how different just visually it looks, right? Even in the real world.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very like green movie if you go back to it. Like there's always this weird tint of green to it.
Right, right.
So based on I actually watching some of there were actually, if you watch, I don't know if whatisthematrix.com is still up where you can click the pills and see little short snippets.
Oh, okay.
But there are short snippets there that were not in this trailer.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and based on that, but less so now. I was thinking it's like I think it might be like a Back to the Future 2 Avengers Endgame kind of approach where it's like examining parts and elements of the first movie from like a new perspective because
what?
like the snippets showed like a lot of like basically like remade scenes of like that you remembered from the first movie. You know what I mean?
way.
Like helicopter crashing into buildings and now I'm like less convinced that that's what it is watching this trailer.
Right.
Like it seems like Neo is aware, like, and intentionally avoiding the Matrix or something like that.
Well, I don't think so. I think he just has these flashback memories seem to be what it's
This
implying,
is the
right?
moment.
Okay, hang on. Here's the
Well,
teasers.
he's like,
here's the teasers.
For you to show us what is real
so you haven't seen this?
I haven't
all,
seen this,
Hanson?
no.
right now.
Okay.
You believe it's 8:18.
Your mind's
a.m.,
about to be blown. It's actually 8:18.
But that couldn't be further from the truth. Could be. This is the first day of the rest of your life. But if you want it, you gotta fight for it.
Okay.
So the way, if you're not aware, Hanson, the way the site works is you can just keep clicking and you'll get different clips every time,
Depending on the red
depending on what pill.
pill or the blue pill. Oh, this
It
is
doesn't
interesting.
matter. I don't think it really matters, but like, there's like, I don't know, 20 clips you can see by clicking those pills back and forth.
It's
Do
just
you
cooling your
remember
heart
how you
rate
got here?
ultimately.
That's right.
You've
But like
lost
that
your
little
capacity
scene
to
of
discern
him, it
reality
looked like
from
Neo
fiction.
was getting punched up against the wall and the arms are
real
going
is
like,
Right.
like that's like
And
a really
now,
memorable scene from the first movie,
8:19
right? Is
a.m.
when Agent Smith has him cornered. Or does he have Agent Smith?
Anything else is just your mind
I know
playing
you-
tricks on you.
You should never say this about the Matrix, but I wonder if you're overthinking it, Kyle.
It becomes a
Yeah.
problem when fantasies
Well,
endanger
it's
us.
also a matter of like, what do you do?
Hang on,
with
sorry.
the
I can't adjust the
Matrix
volume
in-
here, so hang on.
We don't want anyone to get hurt, do we?
Okay, so there's a flash
It's
of
like
him looking like somebody else.
But there's also, I mean, it's that thing of like, what do you do with the Matrix in 2021 other than address its like legacy? You know what I mean? Like, and think about its impact.
Well, that's kind of the beauty of the cyclical nature of the Matrix, right? Is you can address the legacy by still continuing it forward, but where things left off, it's confusing that, first of all, Neo's alive, but maybe he's not, because there was that scene where you looked at the mirror and it looks like Neo was seeing himself as somebody else. So maybe,
like he was aging.
yeah, I bet
See, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was him seeing himself as an old man.
Well, there was that flash in that second teaser there where it looked like it was like somebody else's, like he looks like somebody else, but we're just seeing him as Keanu Reeves as Neo here. But like in the reality of the Matrix, he's not really looking like Neo because Neo's dead, but just this other person has like the soul or spirit of Matrix because, you know, something new is occurring within the construct of the Matrix. Because where they left off, it's like, oh boy, help me out, Kyle. You can choose whether you wanted to be
real
in the
quick-
Matrix. That's the end of Revolutions.
No. Yeah, no, it was like basically they were sort of approaching peace between the humans and the robots. I think,
Right.
was kind of the idea, right? Because Neo made this sacrifice but I mean, but they also left it in such a way that they thought they were like, this is temporary. You know what I mean? Like this could be, they've just fallen back into the rut of the loop where they, you know, have the one every, couple hundred years or something. Neo's like the fifth or sixth one,
Right,
I think,
right.
in the story.
Yeah.
So like maybe this is like the sort of the loop has started again. It's called Matrix Resurrections, right?
Right. But I think it's still going to be like the spirit of them is being resurrected. I don't know.
Yeah, like I mean, like I don't know. I kind of get the sense that like Neo knows like what's going. Like he almost looks like sort of exhausted by it all. Like I've done this before. This is useless.
No,
You know what I
Keanu
mean? I
Reeves
wonder
is
if
just an
that's the
old
approach.
man, Kyle. That's all that's happening here. That's why he's
Oh,
so
is that
tired.
right? Oh,
Yeah, he has to
okay.
jump off a frickin' building again and again. Okay.
Hey, do you think we'll ever see Keanu Reeves with short hair again? Is he just done with that? It's just never going to happen.
When you look that good, why would you go back, Kyle? Maybe for
That's true,
Speed
that's true.
3. I mean,
I bet Cyberpunk were like, look, it's really hard to animate that hair. Can we please cut it short? He's like, no.
I mean, the fact that they open with the cat might be a hint that things have been reset, because we see that every time things are reset within the Matrix. Even like at the end of the third one, they show the cat again, and so maybe that's kind of a hint that things have changed in the construct. This is a really weird shot, isn't it? The one where he's just in the street. Okay,
seeing. I mean, that's kind of how he saw the Matrix at a certain point, right?
Right.
He just saw the code, basically.
Yeah. Let's slow this down here. Let's see what's going on in this sequence. Bullets, Neo. Okay, so they're being woken up again, and maybe my entire theory is wrong, because that certainly looked like Keanu Reeves waking up in the real world. So maybe he's not a different person in the real world, or is that Carrie-Anne Moss? Unclear.
That's a good question. No, that's
and so
that counts as short hair, I guess, right? Oh yeah, see that shot right there too. It went by really quick, but it was Trinity like with her arms up.
Yeah,
like that's that sequence in the beginning of the Matrix where that opening chase sequence, right? I mean, it looks like they've remade it.
You're right.
And that's kind of where I'm getting that idea of like we're going to see moments from the original Matrix from a new perspective, or it's being redone, and that's sort of like the thing that's like frustrating about the Matrix for those inside of it is like we've already done this before,
Right. This could be a shot from Space Jam: A New Legacy, though, Kyle.
Oh, right.
I think that's
the footage. Okay, they shot it and then they put Granny in there for Space Jam.
I mean, I don't know. I'm skeptical of that idea. I think it's easily explainable by the fact that like we want to have homages, whether Lana Wachowski wants to have the homage or Warner Brothers is beating everybody over the head saying just do the scenes again just for those references. I mean, any Lega sequel is going to have those homage scenes, right?
Yeah. I will say I'm optimistic that this is like. I know it's not the siblings. But like I am optimistic that this is something that like Lana wanted to do and had an idea that she was excited about.
I hope
and wanted to pursue, as opposed to like, hey, we would love a new Matrix movie because it's going to make a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like I don't think that she would pursue it really if she didn't have something she was excited about.
I would certainly hope so. It is the easiest thing in the world to imagine Warner Brothers saying, make a new Matrix, it'll make $1 gazillion, end of story. It's one of our most valuable IP. Why aren't we doing anything with this? I totally get that. At the same time, it is alarming that the second sister didn't want to join. Also, you're right. This is way too funny of a shot. This is the funniest thing that's ever happened in the Matrix. Is this shot?
Well,
right
you
here.
said something once, which I really has stuck in my brain for years.
Yeah.
Where you said, I think, and maybe you know what I'm about to quote you on, but you said The Matrix is the most successful, least funny movie. I think.
Yeah, it's the most successful film with basically no jokes. Like
yes.
The closest
and
they come
I
to
agree with you because when you say that, your reaction is to be like, no, I'm sure there's others, but you're like, no, I think you're right. I think you might be right on that.
Literally, even Passion of the Christ has jokes in it. Like, and I hate to be this insensitive. Schindler's List has jokes in it. People don't forget. Like, there are parts of that movie that are kind of funny about like, Schindler, the old woman's man, and all that stuff. Like, it definitely comes through in spots in that film. Whereas The Matrix, you got, how about I give you the finger? That is kind of a joke. That's like, and Mouse is a little pervy. That's like the closest you get to like comedy in that original film. It's unbelievable. Okay, so
but that duck, man, it's gonna be riots in the theaters if you're watching it.
Yes,
probably won't be at this point, but
no. But the idea that the second sister is like, I don't want to do this again. That kind of changes my perspective on how much this potentially is Warner Brothers forcing this. And like, I don't know if you saw that article with her, but she had a good take of just like, I done that. Like, I don't want to go back and just relive my own past, which is completely fair. But just that split is really interesting. I wonder if there'll ever be more shed. So I don't think that's him being old.
Because it's like, did Lily, right, is the one who's not part of it. I wonder if Lana was like, hey, can you at least like look over the script for me?
Right, please.
Like, give it a once over.
Just
a little
one
feedback, please.
One brunch where you can tell me if I'm completely blowing it. But I do think it's very fair to get excited about this. I'm very excited about it. At the same time, it's like, this is not immediately following The Matrix. There is a long line. This is the co-director of Jupiter Ascending, everybody. You know, like, just keep the perspective
Cloud
in
Atlas.
mind.
Come on, Cloud Atlas.
I haven't seen Cloud Atlas.
It's good. I liked it.
So she seems important. Is this going to be another?
Yeah, and also, Jada Pinkett Smith is in the movie, but she's
Really?
not in the trailer. Yeah.
Oh, that's
but Lawrence
interesting.
Fishburne is not, and he even was kind of like, "What the hell, guys? Like,
Really?
I'm not in this thing."
Well,
Yeah.
they'll save him for Resurrections 2 or something. My read on this movie is it seems like there are a lot of... Oh, that's really interesting. Look at that. What is that? Like the green look on the face.
Is she not real? Maybe.
Well, maybe this is them explaining the Matrix because he's coming through the mirror and then seeing this. So maybe this is the equivalent of like, look at us. We're constructing this person that you remember vaguely and letting it click. This is one of the coolest looking shots, this entire sequence. I mean, I guess here is another one of your points, right? Of like big martial arts fight in a dojo with somebody who seems to be very in on the know for what's happening.
Yeah. Like, it just, I don't know. It almost feels like this is the new generation of people who will find the one, you know, but Keanu is like, I don't know. That's just my sense. And maybe it's silly. It's silly to kind of try to make predictions. It's more about like, what are we seeing? Like, let's analyze that.
Right.
It just feels like that, which is, I think sounds interesting to me. Like, I like the idea of someone being aware of the loop and having to sort of interact with it. You know what I mean? I think that could be cool.
And kind of, yeah. And they're tapping into him because they found fragments of Neo or something in this other figure within the Matrix. It's weird that I guess the agents are back if it's just, you know, the programs doing their bidding.
Well, I mean,
they
were sort of, they had version 2.0. I mean, that was a joke in Reloaded.
That is true. That is true.
Right.
What is this shot?
I will say one thing it's like you mentioned is that it doesn't look super unique. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I definitely agree with you there. And one thing that kind of snuck into the sequels and really affected their sort of like critical reception and is like the overload of CGI. Like the original Matrix, for all its, you know, CGI, it is pretty like analog. You know what I mean? Like the special, that's what's so amazing about that movie is like it doesn't look very CGI heavy, but in 2021 they're going to lean on CGI a lot as opposed to sort of interesting practical things.
Are you saying
it's kind of a bummer, but
yeah, this is CGI here, you're saying?
Could be mirrors.
Could be mirrors. What do you think's going on here? It's just like showing Trinity's power that she's like breaking through the Matrix as she's fighting or something?
Yes. I mean, she was never particularly powerful, right? As a like,
she was.
Like, as opposed to I mean, I guess she wasn't more powerful than the average
I think she was
non-Neo person, right?
Oh, I think she absolutely was. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I say that very confidently, Kyle. Yeah, why do you think...
What was the last time you watched the trilogy?
Honestly, it's been a while, but I just re-listened to Blank Check's dissection of the three, like in preparation
Those
for
are
this.
great.
Yeah, because David Sims is a huge fan.
Those were like, I think that's kind of where I started with Blank Check, and it really was this sort of moment of like, oh yeah, The Matrix is really, I don't give it enough credit. I feel like is my reaction to listening to David Sims and Griffin Newman talk about that series.
Yeah, as much as I love the first one, yeah, I mean, I've seen Reloaded maybe 2 times, and Resurrections I think I've only seen in the theaters. Maybe I've seen like bits and pieces on TV or something like that. What do you think here? What's going on? This is just Keanu Reeves' new boss that he has to quit the job for so they can have him in an office again?
I guess. Well, there's a teaser. In the teaser, it shows him having the mouth problems that Neo had.
Yeah, that is weird. So maybe the agents are coming in to mess with him? Like, that's so confusing.
Jonathan Groff, I think his name is.
Yeah.
He was in Hamilton.
Yep. Yeah. Also, obviously, Sven from Frozen, everybody's favorite. I think coolest shot is him moving that missile, him using his magic missile in here. There's still, believe it or not, a lot of questions about this. But it's interesting to listen to that the Matrix Blank Check episodes, because in that discussion they talk about the fact that like if they ever did a new Matrix, this was years ago they recorded, like if they ever did a new Matrix, I don't think anybody would be excited just because everyone was so burned by 2 and 3. But this is a good example of like, don't worry about it. You know what? People have been burned by later Terminators. People have been burned by later Aliens. There's still plenty of excitement. And the fact that this is like the first time back to the well since 2004, I mean, that's amazing. Or 2003?
Those are the video games, but those were like, you know what I mean? Those were secondary sort of media.
Right. What is this? The weird bird stuff. Good song choice. Yeah, I'm excited. There's somebody in the chat saying that it looked bad. Which I don't think it looks bad at all.
so.
I'm very curious. I would say now I am cautiously optimistic. I hope they really go for it. I read somewhere that there were like test screenings.
Time to fly.
And this is maybe nonsense, but they're saying that there was early test screenings and the reaction was like, it's definitely in the vein of a Reloaded or Resurrections. Like, don't expect another
really?
Matrix.
Okay.
It's too heady for its own good. It's not that coherent, but maybe
There's like
that's
a 20-minute sequence of people dancing in a cave.
right. Yeah. Well, they're saving that for Resurrections too. Then they'll have all those flashback homages to your favorite scenes for the second film. But who knows? I mean,
I think I'm going in with the right expectation. I'm not expecting the original Matrix. Like
It's
that's
impossible.
just a once in a lifetime movie sort of experience. It's like honestly, like I would honestly say that. Like I would put it up there with Star Wars of like going to see the Matrix for the first time. Like it's almost like I think a new generation. If if a kid were to watch The Matrix today, it wouldn't be the same because it became so ubiquitous that it became parodied in all this like media. So it's kind of hard to look at those sequences and not think they look kind of silly.
And also,
but like to see it for the first time and have your mind blown by discovering what The Matrix is and seeing things you've never really seen on screen before was like monumental.
Unbelievable. And I hate to pull this card too, but it was like, I think for us, it was the perfect age to see a movie like that. When like 13, 12, I guess, is when it came out for me. And it's like, that's just perfect. Starting to question everything around you and getting really into computers. And suddenly you realize like, oh, through computers, you can question the nature of reality and life itself. It's like, okay, this is exactly what I want my 12-year-old mind to be chewing on. It's just unbelievable.
But I do want, I mean, I like the world, and I'm surprised how, like, it was really like 2 days ago when the teasers started coming out. I was like, oh, I'm really excited for this. I didn't realize how excited I was. And the one sort of negative that I have from this trailer, honestly, is what you said earlier, is that doesn't really look super like unique. Like I wish they had almost made it look weirder. You know what I mean? Whether that's with like color filters or something. Like if this was not directed by a Wachowski, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Right.
But
I think that's fair.
I'm still excited I'm really interested in the story and I want to see what's happening here for sure.
I'm very curious about this because it looked like he was on top of the situation when he was fighting Neo, but now the fact that you're seeing him enter into the Matrix or kind of be indoctrinated through the mirror, right? Like that's a weird twist. And there's a shot of him looking really scared. Like there, he doesn't look very comfortable in his element. So maybe we'll see his origin story as well.
Maybe that's the beginning, is to set the table with him discovering the Matrix.
Right.
Then maybe he finds Neo and that becomes, what's happening. I don't know.
Could be. Hey, a lot of questions. Thanks so much for watching this with us, everybody. We'd appreciate if you subscribe to MinnMax's YouTube channel, help support independent games media. We're going to be coming in a little bit later today with a live reaction to the PlayStation Showcase, which I think is going to be very good, Kyle. The fact that PlayStation isn't pulling any punches and not saying, don't expect this, don't expect this. I think it's fair game to expect God of War. I think it's probably fair game to expect Final Fantasy 16. I'm very excited about those. So we'll be doing a live reaction to that. So give us a subscribe over on this YouTube channel and tune in for that. Then we'll be doing a live episode of the MinnMax Show podcast with Kyle Hilliard right after that. Yes, Kyle?
Yes. I'll be there.
Great. And you can help support independent games media and win some great things along the way by jumping in even at that $2 tier to patreon.com/MinnMax with 2 N's and competing in Trivia Tower, which is our big community video game trivia show. It's happening this Monday, September 13th at 8 p.m. Central. We're going to be joined by special guest co-host Christian Spicer from the DLC podcast, the official Last of Us podcast, comedian, good guy all around. So he'll be joining us for that. So if you want to jump in, prove you know a thing or two about video games, answer some fun trivia along the way, win game codes for It Takes Two, Aliens Fireteam Elite, and a whole lot more, you can jump in by going to patreon.com/MinnMax with 2 N's. All you do, Kyle, you go there, you say $2 to compete in trivia. That sounds great. Jump in at that $2 tier, get access to the Discord, Simple link, click on the link. You don't even need to download anything. It's just in your browser, and then that's where the competition happens. You just have to type in the right answer, work your way up the tower. You can check out previous episodes of Trivia Tower if you want to compete. We'd love to see you there. We're always eager for new competitors, and this time you can bring a friend and double your odds, Kyle.
All right.
Hey, okay, I guess.
Good. I don't know. That's awesome. Great idea, Hanson. I'm so proud of you. Trivia Tower is great. I always watch it after the fact because I don't think I could watch it live because I just want to compete. And I know all the answers, and that wouldn't be fair to everybody. So
You don't actually. It'd be interesting to have you compete at some point because I don't think you know. I mean, how do you think you would do? Do you think you'd get out of the first floor?
I think I mean, with some confidence, I think I'd get off the first floor at least. Like,
Okay.
maybe I play, but my answers just don't count. You know what I mean?
Maybe we can. I mean, I won't share anything with you. Maybe we can have you compete in the future. But regardless, this Monday is the next episode of Trivia Tower, so we'd appreciate the support and give it a whirl. It'd be a fun Monday evening for you. All right, thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you real soon with the new episode of the MinnMax Show podcast. Bye, everybody.